Fine. Go on, bro. It's fine. I'll watch it later.
So excited, I forgot to take that off. Wow. How are we doing? How are we doing? Wow, what a evening of football. Arsenal absolutely dismantling Atletico Madrid 4-0 at the Emirates Stadium. We've just we've not come down yet. We haven't had a chance to. We haven't even seen any of the post-match interviews and stuff. So we'll take all of that as it comes in. Obviously, from anybody in the chat who wants to drop any gems as well. Thanks for joining us. I'm joined with Mac tonight. Mac, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. What, you're on mute? Oh.
It's holiday season with the kids, and it's holiday season for us as well. I love it.
Love it. Let's
feels like holiday anyway after what we just seen.
Yeah. Trust me, man. Amazing performance. But let's get into the intro first. Let's go. How you doing, man? It's good to see you again. It's been a while. Obviously, I think the first game of the season, I think it was the preview, wasn't it? We everything. So enjoying the school holidays, obviously.
Yeah. It's been good to have down tools and after a crazy time, as obviously that's where we are. Our kids went through some pain, but they came out on the other side victorious. So we're not going to get into on this, but yeah, it's been a great few. It's been a great few weeks. But here we are, and Arsenal are making us happy again.
Absolutely. Great to have you on as always, man. So let's get into it. Arsenal have made a very definition of a statement win tonight. I think all the teams, all the big boys across Europe, I think most of them won tonight, but I think most of them will. They might, a lot of them have TVs in their dressing rooms now, and they'll see the scores scrolling along and everything and stuff, and they'll see Arsenal 4, Atletico Madrid 0, and that is the definition, like I said, of a statement win. What were your thoughts on just obviously we'll go into lineup. Obviously, surprised seeing Miles get a start. Obviously, he started his second start in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So that was a surprise. I pretty much thought Mourinho would start, but
we talked about it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think him doing the presser as well. Talking about good stuff about Gyökeres and stuff. It was for me, against the Spanish side that he's played against so many times, and the style of play that they, dark arts that they were doing, especially towards the end of that first half, when they were just literally chucking themselves down at any point that they could. But what was your thoughts just on that? Cagey first half where it looked like it was, to sort of heavyweights, jabbing each other. These were two of the three teams that have played the most games in the Champions League without actually winning it.
Yeah.
The other team is Dynamo Kiev. I think he's played the most games without actually winning it. We're the most, then them, and then Atletico third. But what was your thoughts just on that opening first half? It just was a little bit cagey. It looked like it was like, don't make a mistake,
I think we were on top. Obviously, at home, we have obviously turned the Emirates back into a fortress now. So that I wasn't too surprised that we were all over them, just because of the level and intensity we play at these days, and the belief. So I just think we were always going to be on top of them the first few minutes. I was worried, as we talked about, obviously offline, about the clinicalness though of what we were doing. So we were all over them, but just those first few minutes, we should have been 1-2 up almost straight away. And so, going back to the lineup, Lewis Skelly, we'll talk about him a bit later, but I just think he was a bit out of position and stuff. But I just think when Eze had his chances, obviously Zubimendi and all the rest of them had their chances. Obviously Rice had that chance as well, but hit the ground. Just thought we were just, the cage was slightly taken away from the mindset of let's just finish these boys off. So, and I think we almost not overawed them, but over respected them at the start. I think we've forgotten who we were and what we did last season. We were semi-finalists, and we got beaten by the winners, eventual winners. So we just need to remember who we are. I think obviously second half we did after obviously whatever they talked about at halftime. But I think we just kind of forgotten what we are about. We are probably one of the best teams definitely in the Premier League, in Europe, probably in the world at the moment. We just need to remember that that's who we are, and we need to prove it. And just because we haven't got the trophies, we can do it, the job. So it was an interesting first half, but we were all over them.
Yeah, I thought the atmosphere was really good. I thought the fans, you could hear the fans are, they really bought into it, dialed in. It was a big game, big team. It's really important for us to sort of not let all the good work that we've done, since that Liverpool defeat, down a bit, the clean sheets as well. But it was a little bit cagey. It did feel a little bit like the Real Madrid game, last year, where it was like that first half. It was just really, it was on a knife edge. You could like almost, even sitting here watching it, you could just feel the tenseness in the atmosphere, and it was like, okay. And the only times that they sort of kind of got in for me was when we were being sloppy. I don't know what Ray was doing with that ball. We tried to shepherd out. Brian messaged me and said, it looks like the grass isn't as zippy as it usually is, because he was expecting that to sort of slide out, and it wasn't going anywhere. And I can't remember what the other mistake was, but it was like two kind of little sloppy bits of play that kind of gave them their big opportunities, really. And but like you said, other than that, we were pretty much in control of it again. Obviously, Arteta will be happy with that. But the only danger really was Alvarez, which we know how dangerous he is and what a good player he is. But let's talk on Miles, really, because what do you think of his performance? Because it seemed like times that he seemed like to. I mean, he did some, amazing what he did for the lost count of the goals. Third one, I can't remember. But it always seemed like he was trying to. He was loving the, getting in the dark art stuff, getting in the, getting involved in the corners and stuff like that. But I thought he did okay, but he just seemed to be, lose a little bit of concentration before he sort of went on that run for the goal. But what was your thoughts just on him, and how important it is for him now to take his opportunity now, obviously, with what Thomas Tuchel said about his opportunity?
So I think it's twofold. I think first of all, the Thomas Tuchel warning, the firing over the bows, as I think, let's be honest, Arteta looks after his people, and I think because he knows Calafiori's on the plane next year, without a shadow of a doubt, he's going to make the squad. I think he feels almost an obligation to bring Lewis Skelly back into the squad to make sure that Tuchel does put him on the plane. So that's what I think. I mean, that's obviously, we don't know that for sure, but I just feel like there was no need to put Lewis Skelly in that game unless it was something to actually kind of highlight and remind Tuchel how good he is. And we know he's brilliant, but I think the game was more suited to Calafiori, to be honest. I think, in just the sense that Calafiori obviously can defend, but also he gets in those strange places and always finds himself in those forward positions because there are loads of gaps that Atletico left. So I think that's the first thing. On as far as Lewis Skelly, I think, like he said, he just got a bit into the occasion and not really remembering his position. He's playing left back, and he's caught a lot. And then once they realized that they could catch him a lot, they were going. If you watch, they were going as much as they could down his side, down his obviously the right side, obviously his left. But I think that's. If you watch them, they very rarely went down the other side. They very rarely went to Timber's side because obviously Timber's the best right back probably in the world at the moment.
Ridiculous player.
I mean, it's just everything he does is gold. I mean, if there's a Rolls Royce, he's the Bentley, isn't he? I mean, he's just like he's right up there, isn't he? With Saliba, as right backs go, I can't think of anybody in the world. Premier League, obviously no chance, not even close to him. But in Europe, I don't think of anybody even his level. But I think Lewis Skelly just forgot that and all the stuff and get involved and try and put himself about. But he's got to defend his area. He kept on getting caught with the ball or get run. He was our position and the ball's run past. I've seen Big Gabby covering for him. Too many times people running past him. He's overcommitting. Look, he's a young lad, and we know his quality. I just think that I think this whole World Cup thing is kind of detracting from him focusing on what he can do. And just
there's a long way to go, though. I mean, there's it's a hell of a long way. The only thing I think is just is because of the camps, isn't it? There's only the next month, and then
November, isn't it?
And then after, there's not many games, but. It's going on to I thought he played well, but he just kind of looked. I guess he looked rusty, but I mean, you
said he looked rusty from the off. Let's be straight, right? We've talked about it, but you've even before I called him out, you called him out in the pre-season, bro. And from then on, you've just been quite consistent about it.
He just looked off the pace a bit in pre-season. He was getting caught on the ball a lot. He was trying to buy free kicks a lot because he wasn't getting his touch right. When the ball was coming in, he wasn't getting it out of his feet, and it was and he just looked like he was a few weeks behind the rest. And obviously,
Calafiori. Just out of interest, why do you think? I don't know. I can't put my finger on it myself.
You've got to remember he's 18 still, so he could just be growing.
Maybe
he could have had his summer. He could have had a really really good summer. And maybe trying to get back on track. And obviously Calafiori's taking advantage of that and fair play to him. He showed how good he is, and it's good for the team, isn't it? If he's gonna meet fire with fire and compete, then. And if he does what he did in the second half with that run, I mean, that's why people are saying that he should be played in midfield as one of the eights. If he's doing stuff like that. And but so we went in at half time, and you said just before half time, you messaged me and said we'll get him in the second half. The fitness is dropping, and I didn't know it was going to go crazy like that. we'll talk about that in a minute, but let's jump into the chat. We've got a few guys in there. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight at short notice. You got Brian. Thanks, Brian. Even Jed's great statement, particularly with the other big hitters smashing. Something tonight. Still things to work on, but signs are looking good. Roll on the weekend. Another big one. But
big one on the weekend.
Massive statement. How you doing, Steve? Neil's here. How you doing, Neil? Yes. And yes, we have
right. Early days. 30 more games. Come on.
Champions League. You just got to keep rolling, man. Surprise, watch Haaland get all the headlines tomorrow. We have to keep doing our thing. Absolutely. Martinelli goal was his favourite, but so pleased for
nice.
The joy on the players was, for me, was great to see when you got the first one. Just people, genuinely happy for him, and for me, I kind of thought they may be a little bit of a with the whole Saka and Gyökeres penalty thing, you could see how happy Saka was for him when that he scored, got that first goal, and the guy looks like kind of relieved, but also kind of embarrassed when he scored it. Talk about
what happened. Yeah.
Steve says, I called us a second half team and we scored 2 or 3 early doors. It didn't change that. Yeah, Steve messaged that to me as well. To be fair, he said, yeah, we'll get 2 or 3. Love our Pay Madrid team. Yeah, they come to North London and they get dealt with, man. Brenny, how you doing, Brenny? Great win tonight. Bring on Inter and Bayern. Yeah, we've got them 2 to come. Like I said, that's going to be scrolling along their dressing rooms, and they'll be looking at the highlights and stuff on their coaches' back and their flights back to wherever they're going. They're thinking, Jesus, man, this team's scoring goals now, and it's still not conceded. So, first team to win 7 in a row against Spanish teams. Absolutely, story of the season, drawing teams in on strong second half. Yes, that's what they've done so far. Absolutely, Brian, equaled their heaviest defeat, but ours was obviously better. They spanked Real Madrid 5-0, didn't they? Yeah. So that's why I was a bit worried going into this one. I'm thinking, they're a decent side. They're no mugs. They're streetwise, you know. Neil, as Neil says, we're the best one's ever seen. Yeah.
Let's get some trophy lists. I think that's when we prove where we are. That's what I said all the way through. Even at the start of the season, we need those trophy lifts. It's all well and good us winning games, but we won a lot of games last season as well. But we had nothing to show for it. We need something to show for it. So once we get the trophy list, then I think all of our weight as Arsenal fans will fall off. But we need at least one, and then the rest will just follow. I think after that, quite just like the goals.
Absolutely. So obviously, Big Gabby does what Big Gabby does, man. Steps up and scores a big goal.
He loves scoring, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's amazing. You know, I know Saliba gets all the flowers because he's easier on the eye, but this is the Rock. He's the one at the back. You know, if he's not there, then you kind of know that. You know, we're kind of, you know, there's no one barking orders. There's no one leading them. Yeah, like Adams used to. You know, you know, he's always the guy that's cajoling and moving everybody about and stuff. And fantastic moment for him to do that. Obviously, his celebration will along with Gyökeres' one will be one that will be memed and everything. So that one there,
celebration,
you know. And,
I just think Big Gabby's so assured, and he whilst we talk about Rolls Royce and obviously our Bentley, I mean, he literally is like the Range Rover. I mean, like the best Range Rover ever. I mean, he is just the Rock. He's the leader. He's the lion. And you always see when he's not playing those month or so when he was off because he obviously hammied up. I mean, we felt it. Now Mosquera's amazing, no two ways about that. I mean, he's positionally one of the best we've got. But I mean, Big Gabby just pushes everyone just a bit harder. So I mean, look, his goal is always going to come, and people moan about whatever set piece, but we don't care. He's a baller. He'll walk into any team in the world, doesn't matter who, without any kind of inclination that we might be not this or that. He's just so strong at everything. He had an amazing game, and it was great to him to just obviously release the tension from us with the classic Big Gabby goal, and obviously a Rice delivery. He loves the assist. Rice.
Rice's his deliveries are absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Incredible. I mean, incredible. I don't know what more you can say about him. He looked a bit. He was struggling first half. I thought he looked like he wasn't moving that well.
I think he's gassed. I think those England games have gassed him up because he looks like.
Like maybe his back as well. I think he's got a bit of an issue, chronic issue with his back. So he may be just like managing himself through games and stuff. But
if you saw him after the game, I mean, I saw him after the game. He wasn't running around celebrating. He was literally holding himself up like that and goes like that. So he's definitely gassed, and he looked gassed in the game against West Ham. Fulham. He just looks tired, but he's playing. But I just think if at the moment we just need to get Madueke all these guys back so that he can take a break. But I think he needs a break.
Yeah, and then obviously Gabby Martinelli scores.
Favorite goal tonight.
Amazing run, obviously, as you mentioned before, from Miles. When it looked like he was getting targeted and switching off a little bit, losing a bit of concentration. They got in a couple of minutes before and stuff. But yeah, that amazing driving run. That's why I think Nick, who's been on the show before, has bagged the drum saying, he's got to be played in midfield. You can't play this kid. Because that's where
tell the viewers what we were saying. Tell the viewers what we were saying.
Amazing moment for him. After the season that he's had as well, to score another goal. I think that's his 4th goal of the season. I think he's up there with. I think Yorker is his top scorer now. I think with 5. But look, a great moment. Wasn't the easiest goal in the eye. But. No. Just, I think the reaction from the players when that went in, and the relief from him, and you saw afterwards. The guy was doing bits down the wing. He was a
hard worker.
Yeah, but after the goal, he was just his head was just just grew another foot. And he was like holding on to the ball, taking people on, winning more free kicks. Amazing for him. So made up for him, and because again, people, as we know. They seem to delight in the fact that this guy's kind of had a rough couple of weeks. They rubbing their hands like saying, he's not this, he's not that. He's doing lots of runs and lots of pressures and stuff, but that's not what we bought him for. But it's like, well, we wanted a proper, genuine centre forward, and is it a surprise that the goals have been spread because people like Saka and Martinelli have had more space to run into space to, and it's 1 against 1 rather than 2 against 2v1. But both goals, I don't care, man. This is exactly what we wanted. We've seen Havertz in this situation and missed the goal from 2 yards out, man. So no one can tell me it's an easy finish. He was there. He's got someone hanging off him as usual, and to get 2 goals. When everything, like I said, what he's gone through, it was brilliant for him. Really made up for him, and I'm sure we'll see the confidence. Will flood back. And this was probably the best shot of the night.
Yeah,
these two running it back from the Sporting Lisbon game when we last year, and he was saying, "Oh well, it's nice that he's got his he likes my celebration." Well then, Gabriel. We call it the Batman and Bane celebration. So I think we all said when they signed them, they have to do that one day, and they've done it. So that's going to be all over the place, that shot. But
they seem to be good friends. They seem to be quite chummy. So when you see them, they're all quite chummy and huggy.
But they all, for me, it was just the reaction to his first goal. Everybody was genuinely happy. You could just look at it, and everyone's smiling and trying to get him up and stuff, and it's just great to see, man. And that's just going to breed obviously confidence for him because he feels part of the kind of the team more. The fans obviously he got great ovation when he came off. They did have a couple of chances though, Mac. Obviously, and David Raya was up to speed with it. Pulling off some pretty amazing saves, man. What's your thoughts on the fact that I think I said in the last show, the defensive side of things has been locked down. It's been so good. Complaining about that, but once we click going forward, then everybody else is in trouble. And I think we saw, what was it, 4 goals in, it was 11 or so minutes. We got a peak of that. What's your thoughts going forward or what this means to everybody else?
So first of all, I think we should tell people what we were saying. Well, I was saying it to start with about Marcelo Scalia. I was saying, get him off. We were saying it together, and then he heard us, and he obviously said, "Get off me, get off me." Push past and all the rest of it, and then obviously threaded it through, and obviously a beautiful goal. So He definitely heard us, and as you said, reverse Uno. So, so he obviously heard what we said. So that was brilliant. And yeah, like I said about the rest of the goals, yeah, it's lovely. I think the thing about Gyökeres's goals as well, that's the kind of righty type, fox in the box type stuff. Obviously, he needs to just believe a bit more about shooting from distance, but it's that fox in the box stuff we love. That first goal and then the second goal just like kind of, was it off his leg or off his chest? I can't remember. Just kind of, just with his body, the Hummer. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. That's good. Yeah. Hummer. Yeah, I was thinking of the best 4x4, but Hummer is the one. I don't want to mention Elon's one, Muskie's, but I think Hummer is the right one. Yeah, he's just like a beast. So I think, defensively, we've always looked good for the last, we've been the best defense for the last, this is now the third year running, just like the best goalkeeper third year running. And we've started now, the people who've come in are starting to come in. I think we're moving in the right direction, bro. I think everything's moving in the right direction. I think obviously we've talked about certain players that we would have liked to come in, but Martinelli's clicking back now. Obviously Trossard didn't come on, but he obviously does a good job now. Obviously he helped us out against Fulham. We've still got Madueke to come back, Havertz to come back, and we know Madueke obviously is skill level. We know what Havertz can do. I think everything's kind of in place. Eze, I'd like to see a bit more about him though. I think he's just getting used to the system. I want to see more from him. We've still got Odegaard to come back. Odegaard's starting to look a bit better, but he needs a bit more time off. Obviously, Saka's back to his best. I mean, we've seen issues with him on and off, but he seems to be consistently good now. And I think maybe the captain's armband has helped that, just for him to get his act together. So I just think everywhere's clicking in the right way. I would like us not to be a second half team, but it doesn't matter how you get through it, to be honest. It was beautiful to see what we can achieve under those kind of pressure. Because like we talked about before, we knew Atletico Madrid were going to do 4-4. When we saw it as 4-4-2, we're going to go old school, going to go 90s style. And just basically, just that obviously Alvarez is like almost like a 5-4. I suppose Alvarez was on his own for the most part, so it was almost like a 1, wasn't he? And then 4 and then 5 at the back. But I mean, they just wanted to hit us on the counter, and obviously that didn't work. So we can see what we are able to do. It's just obviously I'm quite happy that at the start of the season we have these situations where we're kind of slow to pick up the pace. But I think overall it's looking very good for this season. Very good indeed, because even their shot on target wasn't even a shot on target, because after obviously the injury, they had the shot from that. I forget the guy, Gallagher, but was it a shot on target? Because realistically, it was a foul anyway, so you can't really call it. Even if he's shot on target and it went in, it was not a goal. And like obviously you've just shown up, Ray's playing like an extra defender for us. Apart from the odd mistake where lapse of concentration, for the most part, he's playing like a defender. I mean, he's got one of the easiest jobs in world football at the moment, really, because the people in front of him are just supreme at, stopping people even have a shot. I mean, the good test will be against the big team. I mean, obviously, Atletico, big team, the Bayerns and the Inters, Inter not too much, but a Bayern who obviously, we know Kane's probably the best striker in the world at the moment. So that'll be a good test for us. And you know what? It's one of the first seasons in years. Actually, I'm inviting that test. I want to feel that test. I want to see if we can measure up to it. It's been a long time since I felt like that. I've always felt dread. But even if we had Real Madrid or something like that, I thought, we're up to this. Let's go for it. So I do think overall we've seen the season, like I said, but I think overall we're in a very good space. And now that Gyökeres, he's got a couple. I wanted him to get the hat trick, didn't get it, but. Obviously Benny Blanco came on, but no problem. I think we will see more from him now. That belief, we know a striker needs that belief to go forward.
Absolutely, yeah. It must have been a strange game for Berta, seeing so many players that he signed on the pitch at the same time.
Oh yeah,
on both sides, obviously, and obviously, as Neil said, a lot of credit go to our sport director, and he's just begun.
Give him a 10-year contract.
Yeah, he's only got 2 year, I think 2 and a bit year contract.
Sign him up again.
So you got to get another one. Yeah, and next summer window, I think. Yeah, it will just be finishing everything off, and let's just hope we're in a real position of strength with a trophy or two. Yeah, as well, and as Steve said, that wasn't even our best performance, but we smoked down and went for the kill. Yeah, 4 goals in 40 minutes. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
and
first half, just we're a bit more clinical in the first half and walked into half time with 2-0. That's what we need. We need that. We need to get our first half. So we're very good at second halves. We know that, but first half is where we really need to get the clinicalness straight away. Yeah. First gift, click those fingers and cut us. Oh god, that's true.
Yeah. Let's hope. Let's hope. Arteta and Gabriel Heinze, get the boys focused. Because obviously he's come in, he's done a fantastic job as well. But behind the scenes, Arteta was saying some good stuff about him as well.
I agree with this about Eze as well. That he's slightly behind us, isn't he? You just feel like absolutely. I think also MLS that he will probably go into the midfield once we have another window or two in the summer. I think they'll strengthen in the left back and obviously on the left side, and he can then move to the midfield where he probably prefers to play anyway.
Yeah.
So a player from Bournemouth,
the dream. The dream. We need. He's the missing piece. You think we spent all that time waiting for Rodrigo to leave that Madrid, and wanted guarantees for this and that, and now the guy's just he's just doing what he's doing, isn't it? He's not getting any minutes or not, but. Yeah, Semenyo's the one. We get Semenyo, and it's all over for everybody.
It's all over.
It's all over. But let's have a look
at. Martinelli and Matt are doing a good job, to be fair.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, but again, it's a competition.
We need to raise it to the next part to make us like a team that dominates for years, like 3-4 years, like the cities of the world. Yeah. We need Semenyo, 100%.
Yeah, so let's see some of the results on Barcelona 1-6-1.
Yeah, but it's Olympiacos. Come on,
Olympiacos. Yeah, Paris 1-7-2.
7-2. Red cards though. Wow.
Yeah, City 1-2-0.
Yeah, Villarreal
beat Napoli 6-2.
Another red card. Lots of red cards tonight.
Not red cards tonight. Inter 1-4-0.
Inter, see, that's what I'm talking about. They like to score. There's Union SP though, to be fair.
But he goes without saying the hardest game that anybody had tonight was ours. And
without a doubt. And that's been the story of our season, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And we come out on top.
Yeah. So that's where we are at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Not conceding. Yeah, that's why it was vital for us to win tonight, just to keep pace. I should say, because we've got We've got that team that beat Celtic. Team that's right down the bottom here somewhere. I think we've got them. I think we've got them next. So you're kind of thinking, okay, that takes us to 12, and you probably need a couple more wins, and then you're kind of guaranteed to finish almost automatically. But obviously, when you've got Bayern and Inter to come, you want to make sure that you're going to make sure you're on pace. Obviously, Bayern are playing tomorrow. A few other teams, Madrid are playing tomorrow. So you've got to keep pace, man. Because I think last season, a lot of teams were messing about, or especially Madrid were, because they didn't really know how things were going to go, and then they actually ended up going in that knockout. Now they know all that stuff. They don't want to get that extra 2 games, so they just want to make sure. So we've got to keep pace and not mess about, and do the business, and we bloody well did tonight. It was amazing second half. Just a couple more chats from the guys. MLS in the middle. Had a Fury at 9. Still with that finish. That finish on the weekend against Fulham was ridiculous.
Forget about him even. I mean, this guy is just sitting there getting fit. That's good.
A lot of goals in the Champions League tonight. Like I said, a lot of red cards. Yeah, what you thinking Saturday, man? Sunday, sorry.
Yeah,
Palace.
I think obviously I think they would win. It's going to be a very open game. I think we just need to be just like we talked about for this game. We just need to be clinical. I think at the start we'll probably dominate quite quickly.
Yeah,
But Palace are a second half team. If you watch most of their games when they come back to draw or to even win, it's
yeah,
usually in the second half. So we need to make sure our first half is clinical. If we score a couple or at least one in the first half, then we're all right. We just need to get ahead of them. If they score, though, I think it's going to be tricky to get anything more than a draw. But I do think we'll win. I think we'll win probably 3-1. I do think they'll score, though. I think it'll be one of our. Obviously we've only won 2 goals against us, haven't we, in the league? Obviously City and Liverpool, but I just think we might let a goal in, but they'll definitely have some shots on target though. But I just think that Glasner, you know how I feel about Glasner, incredible manager. I just
top
think
manager.
he'll definitely set up to win. I don't think he'll set up like most teams where it's 5 at the back. He'll go for it. 7-0. I think they're gonna have a shot. It'll be a tough game. I think they'll score. Yeah, I think so. But I do think we'll score enough because I think they'll score maybe 1. But I think that's the most they'll score. Yeah. My prediction is 3-1.
Yeah, as a derby, isn't it? So it'll be interesting to see who plays and what he does. How he actually performs. It might be a strange one for him, a little bit like when Declan Rice played against West Ham the first time, and it affected him a lot. Brian says beat Prague and get the points and against Inter and Bayern and get to game day. Yeah, it's dead rubber. Yeah, we've got Prague as well, and that. And that other team. I think the other team we played, that team I mentioned before, played in the last game. I think away. I'm not sure, but towards the end. So I think obviously the big one coming up after Prague is Bayern, I think, and see Harry Kane's on the madness at the moment. So we know he'll get his usual penalty against us. But yeah, Sunday, enjoy tonight. Thunday, crack on. That's another team that we were in control against, and we threw the points away. I think Mateta scored, didn't he? Over Raya. It was
I remember that. It was bad.
It was in control of that, and then we just let it go. So we've learned our lesson so far with some of the results we've had, and so let's hope we can continue that. But yeah, amazing second half. I'm going to watch the post-match stuff now and look at the highlights. The kids, obviously, because it was half term, I let them stay up to watch the first half. You wish it was you really do wish you were a first half team. You've seen the goals. So then my boy TJ said, "Oh, Daddy, can you let us know, because they have a monitor? We have a thing so we can talk to them. So can you let us know that there's a goal?" So I mentioned to them. I said, "Oh, there's a goal alert. Arsenal scored," and then they came. All you heard was feet rushing around, boom, 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 coming down, and they're jumping around. And I was like, get back upstairs to bed, and then obviously I had to do it 3 more times. So 3 more times coming down the stairs, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake! And I said, don't tell your mum you've been to bed this late. Because
it's half term.
Yeah,
to be fair.
I know. They still need to sleep, man.
You can't get for that.
So I said, tomorrow you'll see all the highlights properly when they do their little clips on YouTube, or whatever. Good night, man. Good.
Really nice. It was one of those nights where you just feel like it's almost like that kind of turning point, because it's been very cagey most of the season, hasn't it? Really, even though we've won.
Yeah.
Apart from obviously Liverpool game, but we've won every game. That's quite impressive considering we're like in mid-October, nearly the end of October. In fact, one time about it's 21st. So it's been incredible. But I do think that most of the games have been cagey, or they've been last minute, or they've been
Yeah.
very bitty. But today, the second half was just a joy to watch. It just felt just nice, just relax and enjoy the spectacle, as opposed to just like on the edge of your seat, hoping for 95th minute or whatever it is.
Yeah. For that spell, that 20 minutes absolutely killed them. And fair play, they rallied a bit. Atletico, because obviously, look who they're coached by. They kept going. But yeah, it was good. I mean, to put them to take them apart like that just shows you again just how far we've come, man. And like I said, just a statement win. I just like I said at the top, that's a massive win. In all levels, that you look at it or you want to look at it. And fantastic. I'm getting it in the chat. Stephen,
we get a couple more signings like the Semenys and all the rest of it. I think we're going to enter a period of dominance. I've said it already, like early doors. And we've talked about it even offline summer. I just think the quality that Bert is bringing, and I just think we're nearly there for entering a period of dominance. If we just get a couple more people in, I don't see anybody, and everybody's secure now. Saliba, obviously Big Gabby, Timber's probably going to sign something. Obviously Calafio's only just turned up. MLS is. I just think we're nearly there at entering that 3-4 year period of just completely winning everything. Obviously not the quad. Forget the quad. I don't care about the league. I care about Champions League and the league. Anything else, FA Cup and stuff, fine. But because we obviously still hold the record for the most FA Cups. But we just, if we win the League Cup first, fine. To take the kind of monk of the shoulder type thing. But we need to win the league and the Champions League, especially the Champions League, because too many times, how many times have we through our lives been hammered by the Uniteds and the whoever Liverpools of the world that we know, that we've grown up with, about not having our name on that cup. So that's the two that we need. And once we get those, I just think we're streets ahead of most teams, really. So
I think we're set up for it. We are set up for if we get one over the line. And if you kind of think if we have gotten one over the line in 22, 23, even though it was unexpected, but you kind of think what that would have done, because we finished second 3 times in a row. So you kind of think, well, if we'd have got that first one, we probably would have won another one in that time. And it's just amazing just to think, like, Arsenal in history, the only time that they've won the title back to back was in the 30s. When we have won the league, it's always been okay. We've won it one year, then we haven't defended it, and then we've won it the year after. And that was obviously with under Graham and Arsene Wenger as well. He's never managed to win it back to back. It's almost like they've kind of like lost focus for that season, and maybe he focused for the Champions League for the second season. So, but yeah, you're right. I think if we do get one over the line, it just unlocks so much belief and confidence, and we just need to keep going. It's been a fantastic start to the season. Even the game that we lost, we didn't deserve to lose. This season, when you look at it, so we've not played a game where we thought, oh, well, we deserve to lose that. We haven't. We've been in every game we've played so far this season.
If we played them again now, we'd beat them. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, because
without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, because that game and the first 45 minutes of the Liverpool game, you kind of think we just kind of gave that away in a sense. We didn't turn up, but then we didn't deserve to lose those games or whatever. But you're thinking, all right, a point at Anfield, fine. But you think we gave City 45 minutes.
Yeah,
over 45 minutes, they literally were hanging on for dear life. They were throwing on all the defenders and stuff. You've never done that before, so we're there, man. We just need to keep everybody fit. Famous last words. Get the rotation right. So when he does change, and I'm sure Calafiori will come in on Sunday.
Oh yeah,
because he didn't get on tonight. I'm sure Eze will start again, so it'll be the same midfield and stuff. So we just have to keep it going. So he has to make sure everyone makes the right decisions. But everybody knows now when you come in, you've got to produce.
You've got to.
Otherwise, you're not seeing any. a chance to play for a long time. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's a good dynamic because everyone, no hangers on, everyone's a first team player. The players that we've got there, and even when I think about, look, I love the Invincibles, but even I can't think of a time when we've had the quality, the depth. Obviously, we've had for a while, but the quality on the bench has been a long time. I can't remember even the Invincibles having that amount of quality sitting on the bench. Obviously, the starters were obviously top draw, obviously world class, but the best players were always on the pitch. But we've got top players injured and not playing. So yeah, this is an interesting one.
Yeah, and you're right. I think we can see that we're just on the verge now. If we could just keep it going, we've got a long way to go. We've been there before, throughout the blocks in 22, 23, and we were on a crest of a wave, and obviously we saw that happen. But we're in a much stronger position, I'd say, physically and mentally more than physically, because obviously we've still got injuries. But it's mentally, I think we're in a much stronger headspace in terms of when we get to those championship rounds, like as I say, so those, from March, from late February, March, all the way through to the end of the season, that's when everything you do really, really matters, because we could be doing what we're doing here now, putting 4 past Atletico Madrid, but when it comes to March, we're in the Champions League quarterfinals and stuff like that, and you're 5 points on the top of the league, or you're 5 points clear. That's it now. So so fingers crossed, man. We can, this is the year. This is the year, and we've got players to come back as well. Obviously, like we said with Jesus, they're saying he's going to be back in early December. Who knows what's going to happen with him? I've heard Everton may be sniffing around him.
He's definitely going.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens there, because if we do let him go, then that opens up an opportunity to get somebody in, and in January, which might be a little bit difficult. But if you've got a chance to get in Semenyo, then I'll do it. But it's probably looking more like the summer, isn't it? But but no, thanks, man. Thanks, Mac, for tonight. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks for jumping on so soon, and thanks for everyone in the chat for all the comments and everything. Really appreciate it, and
much love.
Really fantastic night. Thanks for all the great comments. Really fantastic night. Just one more from the only thing that elevates the team is another left winger and a striker. Yeah, agree. Those are you're definitely a winger on that left hand side. I know Martinelli's doing what he's doing, and so is Trossard. Obviously, if you get Trossard, he scored last weekend, but wasn't a great performance from him. And you just kind of think that's the position that we definitely need to invest in. But no, thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate your time, Mac, as always. We'll have you back on again very soon. We'll be back on Monday for a post Palace chat. Hopefully, we're still rolling, still clean sheeting and everything else, and staying obviously top of the league. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we will be back on Monday. So have a great rest of the evening. Not much more of it, but have a great evening, and we'll see you all soon. Come on, you Reds.
Come on.